Sometimes I hear people say history is boring. Maybe it's because when you went to school, the teachers focused on important events throughout our history. It's necessary to know about these events, of course, but adding a fun fact now and then helps to make it more interesting. Next time when you wash your hands and you complain about the temperature of the water, know in the 1500s it was a completely different story. Most weddings took place in the month of June. The yearly bath, and I'm not joking here, was taken in May, so the people smelled still rather good by the time the wedding took place in June. But weather could be good, and it happened, the bride smelled a bit already by the time the wedding happened. So to mask her natural aroma, she had a bouquet of flowers with her. Today, the wedding bouquet is still used, but luckily no longer for the original reason. A bath was basically a big tub filled with hot water. The lord of the house had the privilege of being the first to take a bath and having clean water. Then the sons and other men of the household took their turn. After them, the women and children could go. Last were the babies. By that time, the water wasn't clean any longer. You could lose someone in that dirty water. And that's why the expression to throw the baby out with the bath water comes from. Houses of the 1500s were made with straw rooftops, and the rooftops were made without any wooden structure. It was the only place where animals could keep warm, so cats and other small animals like mice and other vermin lived there. With rain, it became slippery in there, and sometimes the animals slipped and fell from the roof. This is when the expression "it's raining cats and dogs" was first used. The most romantic nights we know are spent in a four-poster bed. While today we have that romantic image in mind, the original purpose was less appealing. With that roof letting things pass, you had a problem in the bedroom. Vermin and feces fell on your clean bed linen. To protect the fresh linen, the bed got 4 poles with a sheet over it. And there you have your four-poster bed. Those who could afford it bought tin plates. Food with a high acidity caused a bit of the lead that was used in the plate to mix with the food, and that could be fatal, leading to death. Most often this happened with tomatoes. Therefore, for about 400 years, tomatoes were considered poisonous. Bread was divided per social status. Workers received the burned bottom of the bread. The family got the middle part, while guests got the top, which is the most crunchy part. Lead cups were used to drink beer or whiskey. The combination of alcohol in lead cups, however, could cause the drinker to pass out for days. When a drunk was found on the street, often it happened he was prepared to be buried. Before burying him, however, the body was laid to rest on the kitchen table, and the family ate and drank at that same table. They waited if he would wake up or not. And this is how a wake started. I'm sorry for the English, but England is old and small. Population in the 1500s couldn't find any more room to bury their dead. Coffins were exhumed and the bones were brought to a bone house. The graves could be used again then. When opening the coffins, it was discovered that with 1 out of 25 coffins, there were scratches on the inside. People realized those unfortunate souls had been buried alive. From then on, a string was tied to the wrist of the deceased. This string led to a bell placed outside of the grave. There was a person assigned to stay at the cemetery at all times, also during the night, listening if any of those bells would ring. If this happened, immediate actions needed to be taken in order to save the wrongly buried person. This is where the expression "saved by the bell" comes from. Now, who said again, history is boring?